So I want to touch for a moment on self-esteem and the importance of self-esteem with the young people who we're working with. A show of hands if you believe that the young people you're working with have what you would consider a high level of self-esteem. No hands. Is that surprising to anybody? It's certainly not surprising to me with the work that I've done with young people over the years. Unfortunately, self-esteem is not something that we as adults are role modelling to those young people in our care. We hear people so often talk about themselves in a negative frame of mind. I don't like this about myself, I wish I could lose 10 kilos, I wish my hair was longer. We don't talk positively. We're role modelling that to the young people in our lives. So first and foremost, if we want the self-esteem of our young people to increase, it's really important that either at home or in the office, in the work life, in schools, whatever your role is with young people, that we are role modelling that positive self-esteem. I like me. Because the thing is, if a young person doesn't first learn to have self-love through positive self-esteem, it becomes really difficult for them to expect somebody else to love them for who they are, because they might not necessarily realise who they are for themselves quite yet. Yeah? So self-esteem is really important. When we do ongoing sexual health sessions with young people, this is the very first thing that we will talk to them about. We don't talk about the nuts and bolts of sex or sexual health screening until much later down the track. We focus firstly on self-esteem and do lots of activities around boosting a young person's self-esteem. So if it's difficult for us as adults sometimes to identify what it is that we like about ourselves, you can imagine how incredibly difficult it can be for a young person to identify things that they like about themselves. They're much more likely to identify the negative things or what they don't like, what they would like to change. So it's about switching that language up and finding something that young people are really good at and being able to reflect that to them, like, hey, I saw you do this today and that was great. I really like that you show your unique style and wear whatever it is that you feel comfortable. Give them lots of little positive confirmations. That will boost their self-esteem as well. The reason why self-esteem becomes so important when we're talking about healthy relationships and sexual health is that having a positive sense of self, valuing yourself and having a really good appreciation of your life and where you want to be headed often leads to better choices and more informed decision making with young people. So you can see how that becomes particularly important in the field of sexual health. If I feel good about myself, I value myself and I value my body, I'm more likely to make safer choices, i.e. I'm more likely to have protected sex. I'm more likely to go and get regular sexual health checkups. All really important and crucial aspects of being a sexual being and looking after yourself. Also, by increasing a young person's self-esteem and resilience, as I mentioned before, we're really halfway there to solving the problem, whatever it is that they're facing. Being an issue around sexual health, be it an issue around drug and alcohol, be it an issue around mental health. The more sense of self and the greater building of resistance and resilience means that that young person can come back. And it's also maintaining those channels of communication that we spoke about earlier and how important it is to have those ongoing conversations and have that trust and rapport with the young person.